In this video, we will continue talking about noun phrases and we will tackle the last part of this lesson, which is the functions of noun phrases. As we said earlier in the previous video, that a noun phrase can have the same function of a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. So we're going to start with the first function, which is the subject of a sentence. A noun phrase can act as the subject, performing the action in a sentence. In simple terms, a noun phrase can be the doer or the performer of the action in a sentence. Let's look at these examples. We have the loud barking of dogs disrupted the neighborhood. So this is the noun phrase that functions as a subject, and we have disrupted, which is the verb. It is a regular verb that is conjugated in the simple past, and we have the neighborhood. The neighborhood here is another noun phrase. It functions as a direct object. So we are able to identify each component in the noun phrase. We have the is a definite article that functions as a central determiner. We have loud is an adjective that acts as a premodifier of the noun. Again, this is the head of the noun phrase, and we have of dogs. It is a prepositional phrase that acts as a subject complement. It is necessary to the meaning of the word barking. We have disrupted. It is a verb. It is a regular verb that ends with ed, which means it is conjugated in the simple past and it is a regular verb. We have the neighborhood. It is also a noun phrase. Here we have a definite article that functions as sensory determinant, and we have the head of the noun phrase, which is neighborhood. We have here the second example. We have a talented young musician won the national award. This is the noun phrase. This is the verb. It is a regular verb. The verb to win. The national award. This is also a noun phrase that functions as a direct object. We have a indefinite article. Talented young here is an adjective phrase. It functions as a premodifier to the word musician. This is the head of the noun phrase. And we have here the national award. It is a noun phrase that functions as a direct object. Let's move to the second function, which is direct object. A noun phrase may serve as the direct object receiving the action of the verb. For example, the teacher praised the hardworking students. The hardworking students is a noun phrase that functions as a direct object. It comes after the main verb. And here we have the as definite article. This is its nature and it functions as a sensory determinant. We have hardworking. It is an adjective. This is the nature and it functions as a premodifier to the word students, which is the head of the noun phrase. We have she bought a beautiful silk dress. She, subject in form of a pronoun. Bought is an irregular verb, the verb to buy in the simple past. And we have a beautiful silk dress. This is a noun phrase. It functions as direct objects. We have here the head, which is dress. This is the main noun, the main word in this noun phrase. And we have two adjectives, or we can say an adjective phrase that functions as a premodifier to the noun dress, which is the head of the noun phrase. It can also function as an indirect object. It shows or it indicates to or for whom something is done. Let's look at these examples. We have generous woman gave the hungry child some food. So the hungry child here is the noun phrase and it functions as an indirect object. It shows to whom food was given. It was given to the hungry child. I sent my friend, my best friend, a heartfelt letter. Here, my best friend is a noun phrase that functions as It functions as an indirect object. It shows to whom the letter was sent. It was sent to my best friend. Now phrase can also function as subject complement. Either it renames the subject or it describes it. And here we are talking about two types of subject complements, either predicate nominative or predicate adjective. So let's look at these examples. We have my father is a skilled carpenter. My father here is a noun phrase that functions as the subject of the sentence. Is a verb and it is a linking verb. We have a skilled carpenter. It is a noun phrase that functions as subject complement. It completes the meaning of the noun phrase my father. We have the final decision was a complete surprise. We have the final, a noun phrase, that's actually the subject. Was is the verb to be. Here the verb to be is in present and here it is in the past. A complete surprise. It is a noun phrase that functions as subject complement. A noun phrase can also function as an object complement by providing additional information about the direct object. Let's look at these examples. We have the elected Sarah new class president. So we have they, the subject, elected is the verb to elect in the simple past. It is a regular verb, it ends with ed. And we have Sarah is a noun that functions as the direct object. The new class president is a noun phrase and it adds more information about objects. Noun phrase can also function as objects of a preposition. So any word that comes after a preposition is called the object of the preposition. Let's look at these examples. We have she was waiting for a delayed flight. She is the subject, was waiting is the verb, and we have for a delayed flight. So this is the preposition for, and a delayed flight is an object of the preposition. We have they traveled to a remote village. We have they, subject, traveled is the verb, and we have to the preposition. We have a remote village is a noun phrase that functions as the object of the preposition. We could also find noun phrases as an appositive by providing extra information about another noun. We have here, for example, my uncle, a renowned scientist, is visiting next week. We have here my uncle, which is the subject. And we have here a renowned scientist. Renowned, it means famous or distinguished or well-known person, is visiting next week. So we can basically omit this noun phrase and still have meaning. My uncle is visiting next week. And a positive, as it said here, it provides extra information about another noun, which is my uncle. The novel Pride and Prejudice, a classic work of literature, remains popular today. So we have the subject, and we have the verb remain, and we have subject complements because remain is another linking verb. A classic work of literature is an appositive and it describes subjects, the novel Pride and Prejudice. So basically, it is just an extra information. And most of the time, you will find it between commas. You put it between commas. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel.